But its official national animal? Well, it's something else entirely. And honestly, it's one of the most wonderfully bizarre choices out there. Let's dive right in. All right, I've got a pop quiz for you. Think fast. When you picture Scotland, what animal pops into your head? Maybe a Highland cow? A Scottish wildcat? A golden eagle, maybe? All really good guesses, but nope, they're all wrong. So, what on earth is it? You're seeing that right. The unicorn, a creature straight out of myth and legend, is the official national animal of Scotland. How cool is that? But, it's not just some random fun choice. There are actually some incredibly powerful reasons behind it that tell us a ton about Scottish history and identity. So, the first big reason, it's all about power. And I mean, long before they were sparkly, rainbow-maned characters in cartoons, unicorns were seen as symbols of some serious strength and nobility. Let's break that down a bit. The unicorn's power really had two sides to it. First, you've got this raw dominance. It was seen as the strongest animal out there, totally untamable, a fierce protector, the kind of thing that represents a king's absolute power to rule. But it also stood for chivalry, that noble courage and honor of a knight. So it wasn't just about brute force, it was about righteous, dignified power. And here's the kicker. Legend said that only a unicorn could take down a lion, which, not so coincidentally, was the symbol of Scotland's age-old rival, England. But it wasn't all just about being tough and powerful. The unicorn symbolism also goes way back, deep into Celtic mythology, where it represented something completely different, but just as important. Yeah, so in all that Celtic lore, the unicorn was kind of the other side of the coin. It was the symbol of absolute purity and innocence, a wild, free creature that simply couldn't be corrupted. So you end up with this incredible combo, untamable strength on one hand and untainted goodness on the other. It's that perfect mix of power and purity that made it such a knockout symbol for Scotland. So let's put it all together. When Scotland was picking a national animal all those centuries ago, why in the world did they land on a mythical creature? Well, because it was the perfect mascot for the story they wanted to tell about themselves. Really, it just boils down to these two huge ideas. First, you've got power, the dominance to defend your land and the chivalry to do it with honor. And second, you've got mythology, the purity and innocence that represents a noble spirit. Scotland was basically saying to the world, hey, we're strong, but we're good. We're fierce, but we're virtuous. And maybe most importantly, strong enough to go head-to-head with that English lion. Which, leaves us with one last question to chew on. If your country could pick any mythical creature to represent its ideals, what would it be? A dragon for